Hello everyone and welcome back to our Rogue Trader playthrough. It's episode number 51. Last time we made it to the Cultist Slayer, fought a couple of demons of Tzeentch, and learned about Argenta's past on Salus Prime from a cultist leader before we executed him. Now, we're going to go back to the ship briefly because it'll get rid of Idira's trauma, and we can also trigger a stray. And I want to see kind of what we can do. If we can, like, leave the system yet. Though I don't plan to leave the system quite yet. I still want to go talk with the Liege. And I also want to check out what our relations look like with each faction. I'm not even sure what these relation things do. Does it, like... I don't know. We haven't seen what it does quite yet. But then again, we've only been to 2 systems. The first 2 that you're allowed to go to. And if Argenta doesn't immediately speak with us for a stray, then I'm just not going to worry about it quite yet. There's Furibundus, obviously. So it looks like we only have found the Furibundus system. So yeah, it looks like we have to at least go to the Liege before we can leave the Furibundus system. At least that's how I understand it. So yeah, it looks like Extractorum is how you up your profit factor for the most part. Back to the bridge briefly, let's get some stuff going, and then we'll return to Footfall. We'll head into the atrium. Cargo manager. No, inventory. Yeah, it's inventory first. Oops, character. Archetypes. Piercing shot. Let's do inventorying first. Thunderhammer. Who doesn't have boots? You should have them. Sororitas boots should go to Argenta. I feel like Yeah, I feel like Ava should have a Thunder Hammer. cultist hood? Nah. Give her stalker gloves. Well, I'll give Hakata the great sword. Okay. Alright, I think I'm good. I don't know, actually. Can't give you heavy armor. Chainmail. Just gotta stick with that, I guess. Alright, what kind of las guns are these? Oh no, these are shotguns. Alright, I think that's good. Go to cargo manager now. We keep the auto gun just for now. Alright, I don't need that las anymore. Because I'm going to trade everything that I'm splitting right now to the Mechanicus. So I don't really feel a problem just kind of dropping it all. I'll drop the light body gloves. Drop the flak vest. Keep the combat shotgun. Bolter, auto gun. Oh, wait, this is an auto gun. Four to 6. 8, 8. Sorry, I know this is pretty boring. I'm just trying to figure out what to keep, what to drop. Because as much stuff as I can drop, I'm gonna drop. Because I don't really need that much stuff. Okay, I want the Anver's note. The strange memo. I only need one. Oh, I can't. Okay, what else do I feel like dropping? I'm gonna keep the Rogue Trader's Cloak. Black armor is probably a pretty good thing to keep. Those are good to have. The Ripper. 8824. 71224. Slower rate of fire, but overall better. Keeping the onslaught consumables and the stims. Dropping those in. And what is this again? Stub carbine. Yeah, that's probably a good thing to keep. Everything's just all over the place. I'll drop in the Orthac patterned auto gun. Obviously can't drop this in. Oh, I can add it to the cargo, okay. Well, I'm not going to. Alright, I'm gonna drop one of the plasma pistols in. Now we go to the Kronos Expanse. Footfall. I'm gonna start on Void Deck Alpha Row. And I'm gonna drop off Cassia and put in Hakata. Man, that 12.5 minutes just essentially inventorying. I'm sorry, but that needs to be done. It's really annoying, but it's also very vital. There we go.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Right back to Opticon. Or Opticon, sorry. Again, I'm just gonna put everything I have into it. And then we're good to go. For anyone wondering why I'm throwing all my cargo into the Adeptus Mechanicus Explorator fleet, I feel like it's best to do them. And then, to a lesser extent, Hieronymus' forces. But the Explorator fleet's probably the best Imperial force to throw supplies into.
None shall stand
because,
in my way.
Let's be honest, Explorator fleets are usually more logic-based. And that's normally a pretty good thing. Not always, mind you, but normally. Especially compared to the normally rather less competent force. Sorry, some really weird background noise. People shouting outside. Anyways. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Adeptus Ministorum, normally not the most competent thing. Or body, I should say. So it's good that we have Explorator fleets to work with. Also come on Footfall mostly. That's a very telling statement.
I won't tolerate weakness.
That also explains why the that extermination unit explains why we found mines in the sewers and stuff. Holiness, Reverend Hieronymus, I've been authorized to deliver an anonymous donation to you. The Emperor protects. Request has been fulfilled. The cultist den in the shadow quarters has been cleared out. A grim smile brightens his features, and he makes a sign of the Aquila. I hope their suffering was commensurate with their deeds. 77 experience and 200 reputation with the Drusians. Let's take my leave. So long. Alright, so no level up quite yet, but still. Now we run all the way to the other side of the atrium.
Follow my lead.
So do these like respawn?
It's about time.
Why are you still here? I already freed your exhibits. You did, but how long do you think it'll take me to catch me some new ones? They're mutants in makeup. Not as nasty, I'm sure there must be so. Mistake. Check the shipping list myself, rest assured. Dogmatic attack. Do you know what I see? Heresy. These exhibits must burn, and you will burn along with them. Wait, but please. I just casually butchered them.
None shall stand in my way.
Well, I don't care too much about the carnival barker, but I feel kind of bad for the mutants. Still, it gave me more dogmatic. So if we go to character, go to things. 27 out of 45 dogmatic, 48 out of 200 iconoclast, and 6 out of 15 heretical. So I can start doing a bit more iconoclast. But yeah, I was trying to balance dogmatic and heretical, or dogmatic. I'm trying to balance them for now as much as I feel like it. Alright, so I just had to walk 2 steps and boom. This guy looks weirdish. I guess I expected a younger guy. Vladium Tokar Liege, my patients. You remember the way out? Dismissed. The tall man in austere gray clothes makes a show of looking past the woman he's addressing. J. Vladium. What Ozzy put such harsh words into your mouth? Talk like you're an imperial clerk, not one of us. The woman who is standing with her back to you lets out an ostentatious sigh, then her tone changes dramatically. It's my cargo, Vladium. Bucko has it, doesn't he? So that's how you do business with the old friends these days? Vladium Tokar the leash. So you don't remember? I'm just gonna call him Tokara. Then help, will remind your guards, escort her out. Hey Dari, move. The massive guard leans down to the woman and says in a lowered voice, Jay, get going while he's letting you. Go drown your sorrows at the Amasekis. Think your lucky stars you were able to walk out the door. You won't get the chance next time. Find the disgraced stranger in the Adeptus Amasekis bar in Footfall's shadow quarters. Jay, first an insult and now threats. I see courtesy intact and no longer I valued commodity on Footfall. Oh well, I'll find myself a better deal. She turns on a heel and heads towards the exit. She passes you by. She gives you a quick once-over, winks at you, then immediately turns away with a flip of her jet black hair. Vladim Tokara, the tall man who has long since noticed your presence, is studying you intently. Vladim Tokara Liege Footfall. Let us please proceed to my office. A spread befitting a visitor of your rank is waiting. Your entourage will be accommodated nearby. Certainly. Let's go. Please follow me. I'm a little hesitant because he's separating us, but hopefully it's nothing too serious. I'm sure it'll probably just be bringing us in to deal with the cultists. You engage small talk. You get a chance to take the measure of Liege Tokar. His expression is aloof and focused. His gesture is curt and firm, and his speech calm and quiet. as though he is used to people always listening to what he says. Judging by his observant gaze, he has been studying you in turn this whole time. Tokara straightens in his chair and says in a polite but completely indifferent tone, "Let us talk business. On behalf of the elite of Footfall Station, I offer you my condolences, Lord von Valancius. We mourn Lady Theodora's loss, and we hope this sentiment is taken as a sign of our good intentions and willingness to cooperate. Thank you, Liege, a terrible loss of us all. I hope that under your guidance, the dynasty can recover from this blow and attain even greater power. I'm impressed by your prudence. Decision to arrive on Footfall incognito without announcing either the death of the previous rogue trader or your own status was quite wise. The rumors will spread sooner or later. It's impossible to keep secret something that's been known to the thousands of people serving on a void ship, but for now you are free to reap the benefits of anonymity. I've heard much about your rare acumen, or should I say about the profoundly impressive results you managed to achieve by using it. I've always had a fondness for individuals who can destroy their enemy or gain a powerful ally with just a few well-phrased sentences or precisely issued orders. The corners of Edaug-Ethanb's mouth twitch, bringing his expression dangerously close to a genuine smile. As you may have noticed, Footfall is currently in a state of crisis. Its people will benefit from the patronage of a figure such as yourself. Who is that woman? The wardens threw out. His expression hardens, and he makes a frustrated gesture. Dead woman walking. Some, however, still call her J. Haydari, a small-time hustler with big ambitions that will lead her to a sticky end. Lower Imperium test succeeded. It's strange, a small-time hustler, even a particularly audacious one, wouldn't likely quarrel in public with a figure as important as Liege of Footfall. Seems stranger still is that the Liege knows this small fry by name. She is irrelevant. Since I am the one in control of the situation in Footfall, I can speak on behalf of all of its noteworthy residents. I was attacked right at the docks. An outrageous stunt, a show of disrespect for both you and me. Sadly, such incidents on Footfall akin to natural disasters. Impossible to predict or preempt, they simply happen. Many consider Footfall to be a pirate den, but believe me when I say there's no difference between organized crime and gangs of thugs who have nothing to lose. Or there is a difference between organized crime and gangs of thugs with nothing to lose. You were attacked by the latter. The Anvers are a gang of punks who spit out our customs and hierarchy. Even their leader is more akin to an ideologue, a rabble-rouser who calls for people's heads, not a commander. Sooner or later we'll find him and have him strung up. That will likely cool his followers' enthusiasm. Behind the carefully built facade of composure, you sense anger. It seems this man is not used to losing control. That is exactly what happened. I'd like to know more about the Anvers gang. Why haven't they been dealt with yet? The Liege grits his teeth slightly before answering. I've been using all my resources to delay the moment when the station is hit by famine. I've gotten around to the Anvers yet. As detrimental as they are, they're no players. When their leader dies, the rest will scatter. I'm sorry for the loss of your assistant. What? Your words seem to perplex him for a moment, but his face remains cold. Oh, that. Yes, her death was a regrettable development. What sort of patronage do you seek from me? What's the situation in the region? Troubling. Xenos raids are growing more frequent. Trade is suffering and fringe worlds are going under. Rumors of atrocities being committed by enemies of humanity are causing excessive panic due to their exotic nature. So the Drukari are on the move. The core of the Imperium forces in the Kronos Expanse has departed for the sector's borders to combat the Xenos threat. There's been no word from them for a while now. Then again, with the distance and current issues with Astropaths, that is not entirely out of the ordinary. Still, we are not yet alone. From several of the worlds hit by Xenos attacks, we've received reports of fierce warriors who descended from the sky and entered the fray. Fragmentary accounts lead me to believe that the blessed Adeptus Astartes are operating the Kronos Expanse, and I await news of their victories with great anticipation. Have there been any Xenos attacks on Footfall? No, there haven't. Attacking Footfall in general is not a particularly reasonable thing to do. Many ships are docked here at any given time, and even the listed weapons on board them make for a decent fighting force. It's not even to mention the firepower that our esteemed merchants have shamefully hidden from the station's customs officials. For us, here Xenos are more of a source of income than a threat. Edaug-Ethanb freezes, gauging your reaction. I'm not going to do 5. I try to find this unacceptable. I have no desire to speak about this, but my seneschal is a good listener. Lay your disgraceful gossip on him. Oh, that would be hilarious. Talking about dealing in Xenos artifacts here. Dogmatic. Not going to do that. I'm going to do Iconoclast again. Do not approve of fear of Xenotech. One must know and understand the enemy. I'm convinced that your connections with Footfall will allow you to broaden your knowledge and expand an understanding of Xenos considerably. I'll see to it that your curiosity is satisfied in every way. Seems a little bit ominous. What sort of patronage do you seek from me? Protection, not military protection, but a different kind of security. Have, of course, already encountered difficulties with warp navigation on your way here. Afraid the scope of these difficulties extends far beyond this area. Okay, so this is when we're now able to kind of explore, because we have to start blazing warp travel points. Afraid the scope of these difficulties extends far beyond this area, as I said. Reports of disrupted routes and ships vanishing during short jumps are coming in from across the entire sector. Communication with the Calixis sector has been extremely unstable. Of the ships that have dived into the Maw in recent years, none have yet returned. Last ship that came through the Maw from the other side was stuck in a temporal anomaly that the jump took almost 2 decades in real space-time. Turbulent region of space that divides the Kronos expanse from the rest of the Imperium of Man. Continue. Heard of periods of warp instability, including cases where the Maw would become completely inaccessible for navigation for years on end, thus temporarily cutting off the Kronos expanse from the Imperium. And so, Valancius's words are still particularly alarming. It seems something has a profound effect on the Maw. Has had a profound effect on the Maw. Cicatrix maledictum. Huge warp storm surging across the galaxy, the result of a catastrophic rift in real space. Okay, so that now gives me some context of what's going on. This is occurring in the 42nd millennium, following the fall of Cadia. So I assume Gilliman is back. Primaris Marines are a thing. But we're so isolated here in the Kronos Expanse. I'm also guessing we're on the dark side of the Imperium. That would explain a lot. Okay. So, a lot of context there. I don't know. Maybe this is pre-Gilliman, post immediately after the Cicatrix Maledictum, because it did take them time for Primaris, all of that to occur. But we could just be so far on the fringes that it's been a little while. The rest of the galaxy is starting to catch up with us. And this brings us to our main issue. Footfall is a repair shipyard and a trading post. We barely produce anything ourselves and are largely dependent on incoming shipments, especially food shipments. Station naturally has some reserves, but the supply issues didn't start yesterday. Footfall would be obliged if House von Valancius would assist us by signing a contract for food deliveries. I love this music. Logic succeeded. I can't be the only one you've asked for help. Naturally, I've tried contacting other rogue traders, but the terms of House Trordo would have bled Footfall dry. As for the esteemed Caligos Winterscale, instead of a food shipment from him, I received a transport, the Navica, packed with refugees. I had to send them off to Foulstone. So many extra mouths to feed would have only worsened the crisis further. Suppose all these warp fluctuations must have created more pressing concerns for Lord Winterscale, so I put my faith in you, the third and last of Footfall's allies. If someone of my acumen, then do not insult it by putting on a brave face. Now we both know that you have far greater need of me than I have of you. You are very perceptive. Well, now you know what you're buying. The situation is difficult, but you should decide to offer, should you, forget about the existence of trading hubs other than Footfall, because you won't have more loyal friends anywhere else. I want to ask about Footfall. You are very perceptive. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. So what are the terms of this deal? Simple delivery of food shipments from your fertile worlds. Janus, I imagine. I'm quite familiar with that jewel of the von Valancius Protectorate. Exchange for fair payment. Well, I hope the payment will be unfair, as I will be robbing you blind, but you will remain in charge. Do you have a deal? Again, you need to ask properly, then I will help. No. No. I'm gonna do Iconoclast. I help Footfall, but not out of desire for profit. I have no interest in obtaining any favors in kind or becoming your patron, only in saving people's lives. Valancius's gaze is slightly distrustful. Such charity is a rare sight in the Kronos Expanse. Even figures as powerful as rogue traders do not show it often. I Thank you, your lordship. What is happening in the shadow quarters? Why is there a quarantine? Oh, that. He grimaces. Who knows? It could be an actual epidemic, or perhaps the two families that started it just came down with food poisoning at the same time. We're on a space station. The best solution here is to isolate the area and wait for the problem to resolve itself. I've been told that when the previous Liege was faced with a similar situation, he ordered that the entire asteroid be detached and dropped into the star. Yes, he did, and what a senseless decision it was. There are more reliable ways of disinfecting an area without having to lose a whole asteroid. That maneuver of his destabilized the station's integrity, and the consequences of that was still being felt up until I became Liege. When I entered office, I had to negotiate with the tech priest to make necessary repairs. It cost me a preposterous amount of money and resources. Could I at least supplied people trapped in the quarantine zone with food and water? I could have, but I'm certainly not going to. Takara says in a bored and casual tone, I wouldn't even under normal circumstances, and with the threat of famine hanging over the station, our prospects so unclear, well. I wish to help people in the quarantine zone. I will have medicine delivered from them. From my ship. Can't bar you from what you're doing, but I can't help you, but note that it's not the wisest course of action. With all due respect, your lordship, where does one go to make a few deals here on the station? Here I'm the main dealer on the station, and it would be disrespectful of me to suggest that you take your business to Footfall traders of lesser importance. Still, you might take an interest in a few people of note. Hieronymus, servant of the ecclesiarchy, is rumored to purchase sacred relics from captains, and other traders don't seem keen on becoming his competitors. For goods, you can find Octaviana at the Adeptus Emisecus. Chemical bliss she offers is refined and possesses a satisfactory degree of purity, so don't ask her to pour you a signature drink. It's meant for common footfall rabble and not discerning clientele. Some questions about Footfall. Rest assured, I will be candid. My lips are bound by the oath of service. What exactly interests you on Footfall? This abode of merchants, xenotech traders, and only a few bandits? Well, we'll figure this out in the next episode. Until then.